Hello friends, how are you doing? Mrinal here again. I'm sorry I was supposed to make one video per week. That was at least my goal, but looks like I got some work and I got busy and didn't have the time. And I was also traveling, so for the last 2-3 weeks I didn't get a chance to make a video, but here I am. So for those of you who have seen my previous two videos, this is my third video. And as you know, my motivation for making these videos is to kind of log my own life and share details with myself in the future or some of my friends and the whole wide world out there. Years later, when I see myself, I would recollect and reminisce about my past, and that would be a fun experience. So in the first video, I talked about myself, my motivation. The second video, I talked about my life in my old country, my, birth to the time I moved to my current country, USA. I came to USA in the year 2005. I came here because I was invited by a software company. As you probably remember, my career is in software. And so I've been in the software field for some 20 years in different capacities, firstly as an engineer, then as a manager, later on as a principal. I had the great opportunity to live in 7 different states: Iowa, Minnesota, Louisiana, Arizona, California, Michigan, New York, and if I missed any other. But by far, California has been the place where I've lived the longest. Other places maybe 1 to maybe up to 6 months, but California, I've lived here for almost like I would say 15 to 20 years. So I know this area, and especially in California, I lived in the San Francisco Bay Area, which also happens to be called the Silicon Valley for those who don't know. This is the actual Silicon Valley, and so I've lived here for a long time, and I would say this is my home base. Although my most fun place in the United States is, I would say, New York City, especially the Times Square, because I love that energy of that place, but I cannot live there. It's just too chaotic and too crazy for me. But if I want to live somewhere and long term, this is the place. I also wanted to talk about a few other things. I took some notes, by the way. I'm just referring to my notes. I have a few hobbies that I picked up while I lived in United States, and there are many good things about United States. And I think there were things that I wanted to do in my old country but couldn't do. For example, while I was studying, I could not learn some music because there was a lot of pressure in India about career building and focusing on studies, and so parents and families, they generally encourage you to keep your time uh, tied directly to what will benefit you in the future. And so hobbies and all those things took a background. And so that's how, when I came to the US and I had more freedom and money, and so I had the opportunity to learn some music, practice music, and especially the blues and folk music. I really like that. I play guitar myself, acoustic guitar, and I'm trying to get to electric. Hopefully, I will have the chance soon. My busy life sometimes does not permit me to touch the guitar for months on end, but whenever I get the chance, I do touch. And I think I mentioned in my last video, I would also like to learn the harp or harmonica, blues harmonica. So let's see how it goes. Other than that, there are a few things that I really like doing here. I like motorcycling. I have a Indian Scout. The name Indians throws some people off, and they think that I'm talking about myself. No, it is the brand, the motorcycle brand, the original motorcycle brand. I think it is more than 125 years old, called Indian. And I would love to have another motorcycle, and I think I will go towards Harley this time. And in the Harley, I think I would gravitate towards the Heritage Classic. I think those motorcycles look really good, and I've ridden some of them. But I think for me, Indian Scout and Heritage Classic would be a good pair. So, not taking any sides with any one particular brand. So, if you are a fan of one particular, I know some motorcyclists, they can be very touchy about this brand is better than the other brand, and so no, I'm just about motorcycling. I'm not about this brand or that brand. I think all brands are good. Mm, I also like going to national parks. Fortunately, America has a lot of beautiful national parks, um, and I've been to quite a few. And I will tell you in some future details, because if I start talking, it can probably go to a long video, and I want to keep these videos initially for just about 10 minutes. So just so you know, I have been to several national parks, and I would probably share some pictures in some future. I do like camping. This is one hobby that I really couldn't do in India much. But when I came to US, I picked up this hobby. I have been in some good campgrounds, and fortunately, there are good trails, bike trails, and hiking trails, and also camping grounds near me where I live. And I do like camping. I like the idea of being in the nature, close to nature, having limited means, not living in some permanent dwelling or something, just cooking your food on very bare bones supplies, and trying to push yourself to live closer to nature. I really like that. Um, I think I also mentioned in some previous video that I do meditation. So it's quite meditative, both motorcycling, music, and also camping. These are all, like, in some way meditative in their nature, and I enjoy that. I will probably go into details about each of these hobbies and how I feel and what I feel about those, why I do those in some future video. For now, I just wanted to let you know that these are some of my hobbies. I told you about when I came, how I came, what brought me to the Bay Area, San Francisco Bay Area, where I live as the home base. And I think if you have any questions about my life in USA since I came, um, feel free to write me a comment, ask a question, share, like, whatever. And I'll probably in some future video talk about some things that I learned in India, what I liked, what I didn't like, some things that I learned in USA, what I like, what I don't like. And maybe this way we will build up the momentum of my videos and share with you and for myself in the future. And I think in some future video, maybe in the next fourth or fifth video from now, I'll start sharing some pictures, some memoirs, some memorabilia, which could be relevant to the topic that I'm talking about in that video. But for these initial videos, I'm just going to keep them very high level, no videos, no text, no nothing, just talking about myself, life, and sharing my details. So with that, I think we are just coming up to about 10 minutes, and that's what my mental limit is about how long I should keep these videos. And so again, my name is Mrinal, living in California, software professional, and nice to meet you, nice to talk to you, and hopefully we can meet someday in future. And you have a good day. Take care. Bye bye.